The Raiders start like the Colts 3-and-out. The Raiders went on a very long extended drive, and I was like, oh boy, man, they chewed up most of that first quarter, and I'm like, man, they're reeling from the Rams, and they got a field goal, and the Colts never looked back. Like it was just, um, I feel like years past in games like that, the Colts just kind of, I don't want to say folded, but it was just if they didn't get off to that good start, it was just kind of how the game went.
Yeah, so
And
I think
I feel
a
like
big. Oh, I apologize.
no, go ahead.
No, so an NFL scout told me this like a while back, like when I was first getting into like the media realm of things and kind of moving on from just the like watching casually in football world, and it makes a lot of sense. I think when you watch mediocre to bad offenses in the NFL, they're gonna put their best punches in those first two drives. Scripted football is what you hear it called a lot. So I personally try and wait till you get into that third drive to like really feel like what this actual feel of this game is going to be. And I think what the Colts have shown us recently is they're not a team that you have to rely on in those first two drives as what they're going to make up for. Because a lot of teams, we saw it with the Raiders, their offense kind of just fizzles out after those first two drives. Like you get the scripted element in there, that those 14-ish plays that they've been working on all week long and perfecting how those 14 plays are going to go. Once you have to go off those 14 plays, though, you're going to find out a lot about an offense. I think this Colts offense has shown that they are a strong unit, even when it's not in that scripted realm of things. I think Geno Smith, we kind of saw what he looked like after those first two drives. He did not
Yeah,
look like the same player that we saw on those first two, that was a little bit more methodical and was being able to hit the easy options. When things got a little bit less simple, that offense folded a bit.
for sure. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
it definitely looked like you hit on something where it's like you just stayed on the gas, and that's something that I've seen in every game, no matter what it is. It's like they're not saying, okay, we're up by 2 touchdowns, all right, let's start running the ball. It's like, no, it's like Steichen just seems like he's got that fire, which maybe was put under his rear end, by Jim at the end of last season, to say, hey, like you and Chris Ballard got to get it done. And now they came together and they're not letting up. They're not saying, okay, we're up, let's run, let's just go, go, go. Let's keep putting points on.
yeah,
Don't let up. I love that, like that boot on the neck kind of mentality that we have going right now.
Yeah, man, different coaches have different philosophies there. I'm always the person that if the starters are on the field, you better be calling the game like you'd call it if it was a one-score game. Like
Right.
I personally, that's just how I've operated. I think that's how Shane's operated this year. I really don't
Yes.
feel like the Colts have gone conservative, quote unquote, on offense or defense until that fourth quarter has come in those three games where the starters get pulled. Obviously, the Colts score 40 this last week without playing the fourth quarter, essentially. And I think that was a big testament of what this team really believes in and wanting to, like you said, have that foot on the gas pedal as long as the starters are in there. And I think that's what good teams need to do. I think we've seen way too many comebacks in the NFL over the last few years to really warrant taking your foot off the gas pedal prematurely.
yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed a lot is, I mean, yeah, there was quite a few mistakes in the Rams game, but besides that, the Colts have played almost mistake-free football, and it's just not turning the football. No one's fumbling. Like it's just, and they're creating those turnovers. We had a block punt in this game. I think it was a couple of interceptions. Latu's had 2 picks in this game. It's been like they're getting turnovers, and it's something that we haven't seen a whole lot of. And complimentary football. Like I've been saying it for the last few weeks, and then I started hearing it in the actual game. Like, oh, yeah, they're agreeing with me. I'm on the same page with these guys.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling. But I mean, I agree. I mean, I feel like we've seen them excel in the passing game, obviously, with having Jones be very effective in the short and intermediate realm of things. And those 2 mistakes that he's had this year have been deep balls that he left short. And I think it matters that the team's best deep ball receiver is not on the field now, like Pierce. I think Pierce is able to turn a lot of those 50-50 balls into almost 70-30 in his favor, just because of his ability to high point the football, use his athleticism to his advantage there. I think that's mattered. And I think it matters that Jones has struggled a bit at putting enough juice on deep balls, but I feel like they've realized that if we're just choosing those moments at a little bit more strategic realm than what we have the last couple of years, you can still have those explosive plays in the passing game without necessarily forcing the ball deep to do so. It's been really fun to watch. I think Shane deserves a lot of credit.
For sure. So we need to, there's some stuff that we wanted to speculate, and I think you posted about it. Obviously, with some injuries, the Colts secondary is looking a little beat up. Wally, we were both high on him, both Justin and I, and him going down, that really hurts. Xavier Howard, I had obviously lost, and I'll call it an NFL step or two. I couldn't go out there and do what he does, but I mean, he lost a step or two, and he retired. So I think corner is a little thin, and I think for a while there I was nervous about Latu because his production, I think those first couple of games were not where you'd want a first overall pick to be, but he's come on strong. He's been playing great. But do you think that Chris Ballard needs to make a couple of phone calls here to try and, or do you know if there's been phone calls made to try and shore that up?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ballard has made it very clear in the past that they're always going to be interested in making moves if they seem logical. I think this year just has this different feel. I mean, they're 4-1, they're playing very strong. I feel like there's an opportunity there for this team to be a very good football team. And I think they're already in that very good realm, but just take that step into contender. I feel like they have 3 clear weaknesses on this defense, and the defense is still played it solid, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they have 3 glaring holes, I think, is evident. And that second starting outside cornerback spot was already an issue before Xavier Howard's retirement. Now you're kind of splitting time between Mekhi Blackman, Jonathan, and the undrafted free agent Jonathan Edwards, and with the hope Jalen Jones comes back soon. But I'm also kind of skeptical if the team views Jalen Jones as a starter in Lou's defense due to the speed element of things. It'll be interesting to kind of see what that looks like once he's healthy. So that second starting outside cornerback spot's the first glaring hole. Linebacker is the second one. That second spot next to Zaire, they've essentially played every healthy linebacker on their roster there through 5 weeks. And it's been an issue no matter who's been out there. If I had to pick one, I think Chad Muma has probably looked the most effective when out there next to Zaire. That's who I would play until a move is made, if a move is made there. Obviously, with Jermaine Pratt becoming a free agent, maybe that's a way you could do it without making a big swing. That's an option that's available. It's kind of fallen in the Colts' lap if they want to use it. And that last one, I still think edge rusher. I mean, I think Latu is going to be a special player. I think Latu has the makings of a special player. I think he has had a really strong season, even though the sack numbers aren't there. I think Latu is playing at a very high level, and I'm excited to see what his numbers look like at the end of the year if he continues to play like this. I still think getting somebody on the opposite side of him would probably make this defensive line elite. I think Latu's great. I think Kwity Paye's great in the run game. I think we're just starting to see – I think Kwity has hit that ceiling in terms of who he is as a player, who is a fine player, but I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that's going to be a major plus as a pass rusher. Samson Ebukam, I think, is going to be good for a handful of solid pass rush snaps each week because I think he has it in his bag. But I also think that you can just tell post-injury that he's not a guy that's going to be an every down starter going forward. And I think that's fine. He tears his Achilles, older vet. I think going through those things, it makes sense, but I think the hole is there. So the fact that you have 3 glaring holes at all 3 levels, essentially, the defensive line, the linebacking core, the secondary, to me, it just makes sense that a 4-1 roster that's played very well through the first 5 weeks would make a win now move. Now, who is that move? That's the question, right? There's so many different guys across the league that could make sense. Who's available? Which bad teams are actually willing to be sellers? Which good teams are willing to get picks just because of other things? Finding out who the sellers are is a major point of the trade deadline. and we'll have a few weeks here to kind of figure out who that's going to be. And once you find out the sellers, you really start to get that list down to a few players of who they could actually go after. Personally, gun to my head, had to choose a position that I think they should go at. I think I would make the move at corner. I think I would try and find a viable starting corner to be that second outside guy. I think there's a multiple different guys that are on contract years that could make sense. My personal favorite, this isn't me breaking anything. This is just me giving a name that I like personally. Greg Newsome on the Browns. The Browns traded away Joe Flacco today. I think that offense is just not going to be good enough to win games long-term this season. Newsome's on the last year of his contract. Are they going to sign him? Are they not? They've already paid Denzel Ward a lot of money. If they're going to let him walk, it feels like moving him at the deadline makes a lot more sense than really playing a risk of him hitting the market. So if he's a guy that's available come deadline time, I think he'd be a great fit in Lou's defense, solid size, can play on the outside, great speed, which Lou really cares about. And then you form a trio once Kenny's healthy of Ward, Kenny, and Newsome. Like that's the type of move I would make if I were in charge. Now, my job is a little less important than GM nowadays, so I don't get to pull that trigger very often. But if I were them, that's a name that I would be very interested in.
Man, so Jeff and I have tossed around an idea. So with Lou Anarumo coming from the Bengals and all the issues surrounding Trey Hendrickson, we've tossed that idea around. But with the news that broke about just under an hour ago with them trading for Joe Flacco, it seems like they're not giving up on their season. Because it could be, Joe Burrow could be back in December, things like that. If that wasn't the case, then I would have definitely said, like, hey, man, let's push for Trey Hendrickson. He knows the offense. I mean, he knows the defense. He knows Lou Anarumo's scheme. They have that relationship. Like, man, that would have been somebody I'd have gone for. But now, since that news has come out today that they're actually going to trade for Joe Flacco, meaning they're still going to try and salvage their season, it's like, dang, man, like that would have been nasty to have Trey Hendrickson over here because he only signed a 1-year deal with them. So it's not like he's there long term.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with the Bengals and Joe Flacco. I'm not much of a Joe Flacco believer at this stage of his career in terms of him turning things around for them. I still think that defense has multiple holes as well on top of having offensive issues now with the quarterback. Yeah. And if they lose games and you get to the point where you're already out of playoff contention come December, you're not going to play Burrow. Like you're not going to throw Burrow back out there on a team that has no playoff aspirations anyway. You're just going to essentially punt to 2026, and that's when the question will come in: do you think Hendrickson's going to be back? Because I don't think that locker room and that fan base can really afford another franchise tag and sit out training camp season by essentially tagging Hendrickson, saying let's do this again and go through this whole contract dispute stuff for another offseason. I don't think they can afford to do that. So if Flacco doesn't come in and win games, I wouldn't be shocked if they elected to make a guy like Hendrickson available. He's probably the realistic player they could actually trade that would get them the largest package in return. And I think he would be able to, like you said, slide right into Lou's defense, make a lot of sense. And I think the fact that the Colts were seriously interested in Hendrickson this offseason, made multiple calls, were one of the most aggressive teams reported by multiple people this offseason at trying to get a deal done. The Bengals just were never very serious about actually trading him. And then the fact that they were listed as one of the teams that actually called about Micah Parsons, like that makes me think that this Colts team is at least interested in that big swing if it comes together.
A couple more Bengals losses, man. We could be calling the Bengals again for Trey Hendrickson.
It would definitely be interesting to see what they would do ahead of the deadline because I definitely think they can't afford to tag him again. So if they lose more games, it'll be very interesting to see what Cincinnati does. They're definitely one of those
they've got
teams that
Packers and Steelers coming up. So these are tests. Like Packers and Steelers are not easy teams for them. I don't think Joe Flacco comes in there and helps them win those games.
I mean, I don't know if you could get much worse than what Jake Browning's been doing, so they had to make some move. So I get it, but yeah,
Jaguars.
but I'm not sure if Flacco is gonna move the needle enough to me for that team to get back into playoff conversations. But they have a lot of talent on offense, so maybe just a slight improvement at quarterback is enough for guys like Chase and Higgins to do some heavy lifting.
Right on. Oh, yeah. So, did you need to go, or were you able to do another topic real quick?
If you have one other quick question, I can do it, and then I gotta go.
All right. It's a debate, and you can help us settle it right now.
Okay.
Put your Colts fan bias aside. All right. So, if you had billions of dollars and you were starting up a franchise,
I like this already.
You were grabbing a tight end with a choice of two. Would you go Bretton Strange, or would you go Tyler Warren?
This is a debate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
With one of our Jaguars friends.
Oh, I'm sorry to him. I like Strange. I want to preface my statement.
Yeah.
I got a lot of crap on our company article we did where we were ranking players in the AFC South because I went Strange as the second best tight end in the division, and I got some pushback for people who like Chig in Tennessee, and Dalton Schultz has had some solid years with Houston. I went Strange as the second tight end. But I had Tyler Warren as confidently the first best tight end in the division. And I think Tyler Warren is already showing himself to be on the up and up to be one of the next elite tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah.
So definitely taking Tyler Warren over Strange. So sorry to him.
Thank you. There it is. there it is.
I like the part where I had $1 billion in this conversation as well. Like that
Yeah, right.
I mean, you need that kind of money to start the franchise. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like how you hit on like Tyler Warren, how they're using him in every facet of the offense.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that with every tight end. You can't do that.
He's unique.
I mean,
unique.
Yeah.
Kid.
So this is gonna be a really fun ride with this kid.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me, guys.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Hopefully we'll get you back again sometime.
Hey, anytime.
Yeah.
You guys have my contact information.
All right, later, buddy.
Appreciate it.
You have a good one. Thank you.
Yep. Y'all go find Destin over at A to Z Sports. He covers the Colts full time. So he's got a lot of great articles on his Twitter, on atozsports.com. So go over there and check him out, man.
And also, there's 9 people viewing. Don't go. Like, share, subscribe. We have another great guest coming on. He's in the title. He's in the
could
description.
it be?
Like I'm gonna give him his plug when he comes on. But it's JJ Stankevitz. Like we've been talking about it, we've been hyping it. I'm excited. And the first thing I'm gonna do, because JJ did a lot of stuff with the Chicago Cubs in the time that they won the World Series. I'm a Cubs fan. This is a little bat that I got from way back when at Wrigley, one of the first games I went to. And JJ was a part of that Chicago staff that covered the World Series game. So even Destin's a massive Cubs fan, and I'm kind of I wish we had a little more time with him, but he's a busy dude, busy time of the year. We're finally good. But yeah, man, back to where we kind of left off. Tyler Warren, I don't understand. Isaiah, it's third and teal. It's Isaiah. They're a homer. I can be a homer. You know what I'm saying? I said they were going to smash the Rams. Okay, yeah, that was a little bit of a homer in me. I was getting a little irritated, but it's I was saying, and it's hard to argue it, that Tyler Warren right now is not the best tight end in the NFL. I don't really know who you could throw into that argument right now. There's some really good ones, but who do you really throw into that argument that's doing what this man is doing? And his argument was overall, oh yeah, Tyler Warren's a sexy tight end, but it's not he's a sexy pick, but Bretton Strange is the better overall tight end. And by what? Oh, he can block a little bit better. Well, I saw Tyler Warren sandwich a dude on a run play. Don't tell me he can't block either. He's averaging 5 receptions a game, and his argument is that they're force feeding him. Well, you don't force feed someone that sucks. That would be them trying to force feed Mo Alley Cox. I'm sorry. But I'm not saying Mo sucks, but he's great. He's a great blocker. So that makes Mo Alley Cox the best tight end in this division.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude. Come on. Bretton Strange is not better than Tyler Warren. Not. And not.
No, if you look at receiving yards, Tyler Warren, a tight end, is 18th right now. Out of all of that's every receiver, everything. He's the top tight end.
Yeah.
The next one under him, as far as yards go, is Dalton Kincaid.
I'm talking football IQ right now. and a few more people just joined. We just left Destin Adams, so you can go back to the beginning. But soon we'll have JJ Stankevitz, so make sure you stick around. He'll be on here in a little bit. Right now we're just gloating about Tyler Warren, and it's just like his football IQ. I mean, there was that one play where it looked like he was taking a run, and the run wasn't there, and he was going to pass it. He passed it left-handed, and the pass wasn't there. So he just threw it out of the back of the end zone. This is a rookie.
You can't. That's intelligence at a higher level right there.
He's playing like he's been playing in the NFL for years.
Yeah.
He has the intangibles that you just can't teach. He just knows it. And I'm sorry, like, there's no argument here. And even Destin was like, "Is this a serious question?" Yes, it's a serious question. Tyler Warren or Brenton Strange. Like, I'm having that argument, and it makes no sense to even have to say it. I thought he was trolling me. No, he was dead ass serious. Them boys are
dead ass,
man. They're dead ass. They're sipping that Kool-Aid over there, and I've been to Jacksonville. I know what's in that Kool-Aid. I've got Eric in the chat. Eric's here.
Yeah.
Would you honestly take Brenton Strange over Tyler Warren? I don't know if he's going to answer me or not.
If you're starting a franchise, if you're playing fantasy football, like pretty much everything.
In any way, would you?
And look, we love our team too. Look, we support our team. We love our guys. With that old quote. But look, at a certain point, if we're talking real football, and we're talking, hey, this is how the game really is. You have to look back and say, hey, look, Tyler Warren right now is the best tight end in football, not just for all the yards, having the most yards of any tight end. It's not for that, but how they're using him in the offense, not just as a blocker, as a fullback, like we've seen in the past with some guys, but he's actually getting handoffs. They're actually designing plays for him, like you just talked about, where the rollout where he was going to pass and it wasn't there. Like, they're making these plays for Tyler Warren. He's that good of a talent. Dude, I'm excited for the years ahead, just to see more and more of how you're going to get him more and more involved in the offense.
For sure. And, our views keep climbing. People watching, we appreciate it. Make sure you stick around, like, share, subscribe. Any of you Colts fans out there, we're going to have the voice of the Colts. I'm going to keep plugging this. I don't care. I'm really excited. JJ Stankevitz will be coming on. He is the voice of the Colts. He's got the official Colts podcast. Like, he is the Colts guy. He's up there on my list with, I wanted to get him on, and like Peyton Manning. Like he's up there. So we've got JJ.
We're not giving up on Peyton Manning though.
I keep trying.
He's But to have somebody on like JJ that's so tapped in. That's so tapped into the franchise. This is somebody that, these are the type of people that you want, on your shows. You want that direct knowledge where he is in the vein. I mean, bleeding blue. This is an exciting time for us. So also with everything going on, with Daniel Jones' resurrection, the incoming of Tyler Warren, we saw the development of Adonai Mitchell there for a while. And then, of course, he makes some bonehead mistakes, two of which against the Rams, it literally cost us the game. But still, I think the future is bright for him.
Yeah.
But it looks like Alec Pierce is staying around because of that. We talked about that before. But I'm definitely – question real quick. Do we still think that Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard would still be here if – the roles reversed, if we started 1-4?
We did a midseason firing, and it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't. And we saw the clown show. And I love Jeff Saturday. Like, he'll do anything for this organization. Hey, you need him to come into an impossible situation and just sit on, you know what I'm saying? He was in a no-win situation, and he did it because he loves the team.
And he won.
And he won that game. But the rest of the season, it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And he just does these things that,
Jeff knew what he was coming into, but he just, being the consummate professional and so loyal to the organization, Jim called and Jeff answered, yes, sir, I got you, whatever you need.
Yeah.
So,
And
but bro, we wake up on a Tuesday morning and guess whose favorite team is number 1 in the AFC? It's all about that shoe, baby. So the Bills are right behind us, but the only reason like we're the number 1 right now is because we're undefeated in the AFC.
Like I saw a post the other day that said like, hey, what's really going on in the NFL?
Jacksonville's.
Like, yeah, that went against the Chiefs was something. And we talk a lot of shit about 3rd and 2. We talk, it's all love, and except when we're playing each other. But but no, man, we all have this AFC South show. We're all a part of. We want each other's channels to succeed. So yeah, to see them win, pick up that big win, like that only helps us grow, and that's ultimately what we want. And we need y'all's help to do it. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, because again, Colts fans out there, and even if you're not a Colts fan, like JJ Stankevitz is the voice of the Colts. I'm going to keep saying that. I can't wait to have him on and meet him.
Yeah. Like this guy here. Let's go Texans. Hey, that's all right. They appreciate and understand good shows, so we appreciate you coming.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, being able to be a small show like us and still be able to get somebody like JJ. I mean, that's awesome, man. Like to know that guys like Destin, who we just had, and then JJ coming up here shortly, like for them to be just so humble to be able to support like the up and coming people like us. I mean, that's cool, man. Y'all definitely should go check out their stuff. Like we talked about Destin Adams, he's with A to Z Sports. He covers the Colts, but A to Z Sports, they have all of it. I mean, literally A to Z. It's in the name. You can't mess it up.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he was in great company. He's a Cubs fan. I'm not going to stop talking about that. I know JJ Stankevitz covered him. I don't know how big of a Cubs fan he still is. If that was a part of the job, or if he's actually a really big Chicago and Cubs fan.
I bet there's still some loyalty there, though. When you think about like you were involved in the team. I mean, us as Colts fans, you got to think like, and we even do a Colts show. But if like the Texans called or like the Cowboys called and said, "Hey, we want you to join our media team," you don't really say no, though, unless you're just like, "I'm only going to do." Like if you're financially able to say, "I'm only going to do this," then.
Like I'm just saying, I'm waiting on that phone call.
Yeah. But we're doing it for the love of it right now, and we're having a good time with it. So if you're here, man, go hit that like and subscribe. YouTube at Unstable1, and then if you're into fantasy football, man, go hit me up. You'll see it right here at the bottom at Kingmaker Sports on YouTube. Going live Tuesday night, so we'll be there tonight, 9:30 Central Time, and then every Sunday morning, getting you ready for all your lineups at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So Jeff and I, you'll find us 2 times a week. If you're into Unstable, if you're into Colts, even if you just want to come in and talk crap about the Colts, man, come on, subscribe to that notification bell. I know when we're live and you come in like Mitchell Gleitner here. Let's go Texans, bro. Come on back, keep coming back. Let all the other Texas people know. Hey, let's call that Colts show and let's go talk crap. But that's all right. Scoreboard, baby.
You can add us, but we're 4-1, baby. I don't know at this point how much shit you could talk, but whatever. Talk about those division banners that didn't go anywhere. That's fine. You can drop that in there.
All 5 good years you had of Deshaun Watson. I mean, that was cool.
All those great years.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I'd be remiss, and we're probably going to hit on a lot of this when JJ comes on as much time as we'll have him for. But we got to talk about like the success right now of JT. Like he had a couple of injuries the last couple of years, and right now he's running like he's 20. He's running like he did back in Wisconsin. Like that dude is. He's running angry. He's running fast. Like there's like it just has like this whole feeling of like just a rejuvenation in this franchise right now. It feels good, man.
I mean, and they're finally, after what we've been screaming about for years, run the dang ball. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing attempts and leading the league in yards. So, and he's leading the league in touchdowns. So something is working, and you know what it is? It's feeding your best player on offense, and that's Jonathan Taylor. I mean, that's like the Bengals. What do they do with Jamar Chase? They feed him the ball because you know why? He's your best player.
Yeah.
So that's just a recipe for success, and we're seeing that right now. Something we've talked about plenty of times too is like Daniel Jones. You're not asking Daniel Jones to go out there and be Joe Burrow or Peyton Manning. You're not asking him to do that. You're simply asking him, hey, put the ball in your players' hands and let them go be studs. And that's what he's doing. And that's all that Anthony Richardson needed to do. But Anthony Richardson, knowing he's a premier athlete, and he is for everything, all his shortcomings in the passing game, he's a premier athlete. But he's not the guy that's going to be able to do what Daniel Jones is right now and be able to dissect the defense so much so just, hey, that's the open guy. Let me throw it to him. Josh Downs is open underneath. There's, Pittman and Pierce are covered up top. Let me give it to Downs. Hey, I got Tyler Warren running a crosser. Or, hey, Tyler Warren's open on a flag route. Like, he's hitting the open guy. He's not playing favoritism football. He doesn't have a favorite. Even Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, right now they're all his favorite. I mean, he's number 3 in the league in passing. So, I mean, how can you not love the fact of what he's doing?
I love the fact that you brought up Josh Downs because how nasty was his spin move against the Raiders, man? He gained so many first downs, like that clutch third down, like he just I'm like, Josh Downs he's shifty, man.
And you don't know what direction he's going. It's like as soon as he catches, it's like, okay, I got a 50-50 shot at it. Let me just pick one.
I'm just gonna guess. He looked good against the Raiders, man. I'm happy to see all these players. Yeah. We're not really getting drops anymore. Like we're not seeing the butterfingers that we had seen last couple of years.
They rolled out the jugs machine and they started using it at practice.
Yeah, finally.
Hey, we were messing with our boy Isaiah last night about the jugs machine being gone in Jacksonville because it's just drop after drop. But
it was rough there, man. And I'd also we came into the show saying I would rather see Doolin right now than Adonai Mitchell. And Doolin's a baller, man.
Bro, you ain't lying.
Like
not just on special teams though.
I'm saying that shit was a catch. I don't care what they say. He had 2 feet down. He went out of bounds, and then it's a catch, bro.
Yeah.
I hate that rule. I hate it so much.
I mean, regardless though, like we beat the brakes off the boys. It wasn't even close. Like,
but Doolin made a lot of great plays outside of that one too. So he might not be as fast or as big as. Okay, hold on one second. Take it away.
Yeah, so to hit on what Jeff is saying like that. So Ashton Doolin has been setting the Colts up with really great offensive position with him being so explosive and so versatile returning kicks. So you can't underestimate and discount how important starting field position is whenever you're starting on the 45 of the opponent's yards instead of your own 25. Like for Ashton Doolin to be able to get the Colts in such great field position, that right there is going to lead to touchdowns or field goals. That's going to lead to points regardless, because if Ashton Doolin can set you up at the 35 or the 40 or the 45, then you're pretty much like one first down away from field goal range if you have a good kicker. So not only have we seen the evolution of Ashton Doolin in the kicking game or in the return game, but now we're seeing he can actually get it done on the offense when he's asked. When they straight up said, like, hey, Ashton Doolin, we need you to step up because someone else, who we're not going to name names, I'll say it, Adonai Mitchell, you're in the doghouse because you've had 2 weeks with stupid mistakes. Bro, he stepped up. He did everything you asked him to do. He didn't try to do anything fancy. He just went out there and he took advantage of his opportunity. So I think we're going to see more play from Ashton Doolin. But Jeff, this speaks more to how much talent do we have in our receiving room, dude?
Hold on. Before we do, but let me. I'd be remiss if I didn't toot my own horn a little, because he was a pending free agent, and I came into this saying, like, we did our sign, don't re-sign. Who is the guy with 2 thumbs that said we should re-sign Doolin?
There you go. Take that. Hey, brag on yourself, brother. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You got it right.
Every time they've asked him to come in, he's had to. He's been targeted a couple times, 2-3 times in a game. He's caught it. He's great on special teams.
Yeah,
and that's just a testament overall to this team, because right now they're playing great complementary football.
Yeah.
And like they're winning in special teams. They had a block punt. They unfortunately we didn't get to really touch on it with Destin. That was part of the plan, but he had to kind of bail early. We were going to touch on Spencer Schrader. Like they've had the kicking tryouts. I don't think they've made a decision yet on where they're going to go.
He's available out there still, though, right?
Specs. Respect the specs. I don't know if we should go that route again.
I don't know. But hey, it would be cool to see him in a Colts uniform again. I thought he was fun coming out of college with the, being so teeny tiny and then the glasses, like that was cool, the goggles or whatever. But it's definitely going to be interesting.
I feel really bad for Spencer Schrader. Like he ping pong yo-yoed all last year on and off our practice squad, and he gets a shot and he was delivering, and went low on him, and that's the end of his season, man. He was having a great. I mean, at one point he had more points than the entire Texans team had. So our kicker had more points scored than the Texans did. I'm just ragging on our Texans fan who may or may not still be here, but no, he's it sucks that he's out. I don't know what direction they go at kicker here.
I mean, after Justin Tucker finishes suspension, he'll be available. I don't know if the girls are going to bring him in for that, but that's definitely going to be interesting to see what free agents are available, who they're trying out. I haven't seen any reports of like literally who they have trying out, but there's no way that we're gonna bring in a Justin Tucker though. That would be bad PR, and that's not how the girls are trying to start their era in Indianapolis.
Probably not, but if this team keeps doing what it's doing, I would say that Steichen and Ballard have probably secured their spot for next year if this continues. And honestly, I mean, we're getting a little bit of ahead of ourselves, and we can touch on this when JJ Stankevitz comes on. I'm going to keep doing that plug until he comes on. We've got 22 people watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're a Colts fan or not. This is a pretty big moment for Unstable here. We had Destin Adams a little bit ago, so if you missed it, we did have him for about 20, 30 minutes. And we're going to have JJ coming on here in a little bit, probably around 2:30 Central Time. So that'll be awesome. But getting a little ahead of ourselves, but this schedule is pretty favorable to the Colts going forward. I know there is a couple of tougher matchups. I know next week we've got Arizona. So is it the following week? It's the Chargers after Arizona. I know they were coming up
for the Colts. You're talking about?
Yeah.
We have Chargers next week. Yeah. So we got Cardinals this week, and then Chargers after that. So.
Okay. Oh, and then the Titans, which is basically a bye week.
Basically a bye week. Yeah. I mean, there's still a couple serious games. Looking at the team now, because of course we never know what we're going to look like. Week 10, week 12, stuff like that. But as the team sits right now, I mean, the Chargers are a test going into LA. But when you play the Rams and the Chargers in LA and SoFi, it's not a home game. Like you look at there's no home field advantage in Los Angeles. Because if you look at every one of their games, it's full of the other team's jerseys. You maybe get like 50 to 100 of the home team jerseys, but which is something I talked about with some of my guys out in LA. I was we were talking about how that's pretty much like a Dodgers and Lakers city. Like they don't care about football there. I mean, their biggest pro team they had there for a long time was USC when Pete Carroll was there. So, but yeah. So looking at our challenges ahead, we have the Chargers. That should be a pretty tough game. I think the Steelers are going to be tough just because Aaron Rodgers is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But what is he saying? Tell me that last touchdown last time didn't look like the birth of a baby giraffe. Hey, you know what? Nobody wanted that touchdown more than Trevor Lawrence. He was not giving up, and I respect that. I mean, I've said it time and time again, and I'll keep saying it. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. He just has been on a crappy team this whole time. But I mean, we'll see how it goes.
All I'm saying is Andrew Luck was pretty much was on a crappy team, And they went to the playoffs like every year in his first 3 years. Just saying. Usually
The
a
only thing
great
that sucked
quarterback
with
can kind
Luck
of
was the
elevate.
offensive line, though. He just couldn't stay healthy because he couldn't stay off his back.
Like, who was on their defense? I think you had like a year of Vontae Davis, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, they're decent players. I'm not saying they were great, but
like who? Bjorn?
Oh god,
The team was not great around Andrew Luck. His best back was Vic Ballard. Like the team was not that great. Like Grigson was terrible.
Grigson was so bad.
He was so bad. Like he's even like there are people trying to argue with me, and you can at me, saying that Grigson was better because we went to the playoffs, and it's like that's the definition of your players, in this case mostly player, carrying you. I think you had Mathis for a while. I don't want to discredit Mathis. I think he was there for a couple of years for Luck too. But they didn't have like a very it was not like the roster that's built right now. There's a lot of talent across this roster. That is not something that Grigson ever did. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, and we know that Grigson wasn't good because he hasn't been in any significant role since leaving the Colts. I mean, it took him this long just to become assistant general manager, which I'm pretty sure that's like an assistant to the assistant general manager.
Assistant position. To the region manager.
So I don't know if anybody out there like knows that reference or not.
He gets the general manager's coffee.
Yeah, that's what it is. They allow him to sit in the meeting. But if the general manager gets injured, then he steps in.
Takes so long it's had its own commercial break.
Yeah.
It's not a fast break.
Do we want to touch on our week 6 preview, or do we want to make that a separate episode?
I mean, I kind of want to talk about when JJ Stankevitz comes on.
Okay, all right.
He is coming on. Kind of get his, reaction to the Raiders game, and then we can definitely dive into the Arizona game. But it's like that's another thing I didn't get to ask Destin that I'm a little bit, again, I wish, just more time, but shit happens. But
yeah,
just
the
ultimate goal here is to do this. Well, I'm saying the ultimate goal here is to do this and make money doing it. Like, to me, that's kind of the dream. Like, you get to talk about your team, you get to go to these events, you get to do all this cool stuff, and you get paid to do it. Destin's doing that. That's really cool. JJ gets to announce at the stadium. That's so badass.
Yeah, if you're there, you hear his voice, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's badass to me, man.
All right. So, did you have a chance to look over any of the talking points that I sent you to see which ones you want to hit on?
So with him, let's see.
So looking at some of these that Jeff and I have talked about, hopefully we'll have enough time to touch on some of them.
And while y'all are here, if you all have questions for him or something that you want put on it, make sure you drop it in the comments. Because like I said, JJ's coming on in a little bit. Stankevitz, voice of the Colts.
Yeah.
Official Colts podcast. I'm really excited.
So looking at these topics, so how the response to the success is around the clubhouse, how players and staff and everything is dealing with that, or what that team atmosphere is like. Also, like with the success of Daniel Jones, like could we be looking at an extension, and if so, how long and how much? Because that's going to make a difference. Are we buying into this long term? And with that, what's the future look for Anthony Richardson? Are we still going to try and develop him? I mean, this would have been his extension year. And also, are they looking? Do we think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option? I don't think they do, but whatever.
Much like the Bengals, I think there are and will be quarterback needy teams that want to roll the dice, and the Colts have much bigger weaknesses now than at quarterback. The thought process right now is there's a good team around Daniel Indiana Jones, and he obviously can have success with this team. So when you find someone that can, and you don't put up the numbers that Daniel Jones is putting up accidentally in the NFL. Like, you just don't. Obviously, something happened between his time with the Giants and his time with Indianapolis. Yeah, a really good line helps. He had Saquon Barkley, so the running back argument isn't really there. There is a better defense here. There's a better team here than with the Giants. Yeah. But again, this doesn't happen by accident. You don't complete 70% of your passes in the NFL against any team.
71. Don't shortchange him. 71.
71, sorry. You don't do that by accident. That's not something that you like. I can't go out there and play. Who's the worst team right now? Like the Titans, Miami. Like, I can't go against them and complete 71% of my passes. Like, and obviously, you know,
I probably couldn't complete one pass, bro.
I probably couldn't complete one pass. So it's just not something that's an accident. Like, oh, you know, or the Jets, yeah, Brandon.
Brandon Hallam calls out the Jets. Call them out, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, you're right, dude. That don't happen by accident.
It's still not easy. It's still not easy. And any one of those teams, the worst teams that we just mentioned, can still fuck around and win against a good team because there are, you know, there are these teams, there's 53-man rosters, and they're the best of the best. Mm-hmm. They might be the worst group of the best.
Yeah.
But they're still the best players.
Yeah, just because you're bottom of the barrel, you're still in the barrel.
So you can't do this accident.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones he's playing, he's, like you said, he's third in the NFL in passing yards. He's not throwing he threw a couple picks against the Rams, but he's doing everything that he needs to do as a quarterback.
Right. He's not forcing the ball into tight windows. I mean, he's right now, he's being the prototypical game manager. Like, you want a player like Daniel Jones to come in there, which I think the Bengals, with them just trading for Joe Flacco, I think that's what they're getting. They're getting somebody who's not going to be fancy, because Joe knows, like, hey, I'm not former, like, Super Bowl MVP Joe anymore, you know? So, which we had the Joe Flacco experience. We saw that. He wasn't out there trying to win games, but he just didn't have it the way that Daniel Jones still has, just because he's a lot younger, right? So, so it's good that we have somebody like that, where the mentality, the maturity has developed for Daniel Jones, which I don't think Anthony Richardson has gotten there yet. And I'm pretty sure that's why the organization went with Daniel Jones, because they saw, like, hey, he is not getting flustered when he makes a mistake. He's not tapping out, like, when he's tired. Like, he's giving everything that he has when he's on the field, and he's more accurate, because we know that was Anthony Richardson's issues last year, is his accuracy. And which is crazy, it wasn't his deep accuracy that was bad. It was his short to mid accuracy. Like, I mean, he'd be missing guys, not just like missing on their fingertips. He'd be missing them by like 3 or 4 yards away from them, throwing it in the dirt, like stuff like that, or turf now, I guess. It's not dirt anymore. Showing my age, I guess. But there's definitely some questions to be had. And you talked about, we don't need to worry about the quarterback position. So I think the obvious one here is the cornerback position that we need to add some depth to, because, bro, I don't know what they got in their snacks and their drinks in the DB's room, but, bro, they're all getting hurt.
It's the right ones.
Yeah, Xavier Howard didn't work out. Like, he realized he was so bad that he retired. Like, this fool didn't just say, like, hey, please cut me. He retired from the league.
Like, I mean, granted, it was after the game, but yeah, Antonio Brown didn't, like, nah, I'm done. Like,
yeah.
Puka Nacua showed me that I cannot keep up with this.
Yeah.
But it happens, man. Father Time is undefeated.
Undefeated.
It happens. You know, it sucks. You know, of course, you know, I wanted Xavier Howard to work out. But when they did pick him up, I was like, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you were not a fan of that ad. So, so again, like Jeff has been talking about. Yeah, for sure. I mean, because he was really good. You know, which there are some people out there that are we can talk about on our preview show, or, you know, whatever we can do, talk about just like people that we could trade for, free agents, things like that.
Yeah.
So everybody in here right now watching, So as you saw on the title, we had Destin Adams on with A to Z Sports. Go check his stuff out. That was really great. I'm glad he was able to carve some time out for us in his busy schedule. And then coming up shortly here, Jeff, he's talking about JJ Stankevitz will be here.
JJ Stankevitz, baby.
You Colts fans, you diehards out there, you will know JJ from his voice around the stadium. So if you're there, every play, every touchdown, everything like that, you will hear JJ's voice. Also,
JJ called it.
yeah, JJ called it. You will also know JJ's voice and face from the Colts Podcast. Yes, the official Colts Podcast. So we are very, very excited to have JJ Stankevitz on today. So stick around. But we are going to keep trying to bring on faces around the league. So go ahead and while you're here, go to the Unstable channel on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit notifications, so that way you know when we go live and you can see our title, who's going to be on the next episode. So go ahead and do that while you're here.
Yeah. I did tell him around 2, or I didn't tell him, hey, you're coming on, but like, hey, can you come on to 2:30? So that's kind of the window that he'll be on, which is coming up. I mean, it's 2:02 Central right now, so hopefully soon he can pop on.
I think they're doing their show right now, actually.
It's possible.
I want to say they are.
Well, either way, we're going to wait it out because, I mean, it's JJ Stankevitz. You don't be like, you know what, next time, bro.
Yeah.
If they're doing a show right now, we'll wait it out. But it might be closer to 2:30 because I did give him that 2:30 window. So, but yeah, he'll be popping on, I guess, when he can. I mean, he's a busy dude. He's only the voice of the Colts, and we've already been over it. So he gets a pass. But I'm excited, man. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, you seem a little excited for that.
And all I'm saying is, like, we get Destin Adams on here. I get moved into this house, and and we get JJ Stankevitz in the same day, and it's my birthday. Like, this is a good day. Like, it's a good day to be smiling on.
Yeah, everybody say happy birthday, Jeff. Happy birthday, Jeff.
I know I don't. I'm not 40 yet.
What a present
I'm not there
to get for your birthday. To get
yeah.
not only Destin Adams from A to Z Sports on, but to also get JJ Stankevitz from Colts.com on. How awesome is that, man? Like,
and
who can say that they got that for their birthday?
And you know what? I didn't even tell him it was my birthday. I just said, hey, do you want to come on the show? Whatever. You had been talking to JJ. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. You had been talking to JJ for a while, and it's just I kind of followed up, and he was available, and he said yes. So I was like, hey, it's my birthday. Can you I didn't beg. I begged a little, but I didn't use my birthday or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask for the day off. It just happened. Like, it was, where I work at, they just gave me the day off, and I didn't ask for it, and they didn't even really realize it was my birthday until, they put up everybody's birthday on the board. Oh, it's your birthday, and you're off tomorrow. And I'm like, it's just coincidental. So I'm like, hey, I'm off. Could you all come on? And they were like, oh yeah. So everything.
Hey,
stars
blessings, man.
Yep.
Blessings, man.
And I'm and again, very grateful for Destin Adams in his time, and future tense, very grateful for JJ's time. He should be popping in here hopefully in a little bit.
So breaking news for the Colts. Hold on one second. I don't cut you off. Breaking news for the Colts. The Colts are signing kicker Michael Badgley to the active roster after Spencer Schrader's season-ending injury. So you'll know Michael Badgley. He kicked for the Lions. He was a pretty well-known kicker. So this is coming from Blue Stable on Twitter. So he actually was with the Colts in 2021. Yeah. So so a familiar face, somebody who had success in the league. So this could be really good. Not like the whole Matt Gay experience, but
he's only 30. Like, it's not very old for kickers. So
no. I mean, bro, we had Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah.
So
like 47.
Yeah, when we ain't worried about age in the kicking position.
Yeah. So he's still got some years left in the legs.
Yeah.
I know there was talk that maybe Rigoberto would take over for kickoffs. I don't know if I'm for that because it was weird in that game with the Raiders because there was like a kickoff that went out of bounds, but they still put it at the 25. The announcers were confused because there was no clarification on what happened. it was just a weird sequence that they never explained. There was just like, flag, and then they just put the ball at the 25 and played, and Raiders didn't fight it. Like, everyone was confused, but
yeah,
I don't know what the issue was, but yeah, I don't know. It was a strange sequence.
But yeah, so that's great. That's really good news about Michael Badgley. So
I don't know.
And that was
about
about 33 minutes ago. I don't know, man. I don't think we need both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like to do that. I mean, just have one guy do one thing, one guy do the other.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how I felt about like Rigoberto doing kickoffs if he kicks it out of bounds.
Oh yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Not good with that. But yeah, so sorry to cut you off, man. I just wanted to have a little breaking news here.
We're basically just trying to fill time, except for when there's breaking news. We're just trying to fill time until, JJ Stankevitz comes on. Like, we don't want to talk about all the topics and then talk about the same shit again when he comes on.
Well, while I got everybody here, so if you follow the show, I also have a side project. If you're into fantasy sports, you play any fantasy football, anything like that, whether it be Dynasty or Redraft or Best Ball, anything like that, go check us out. Me and the crew over there, Mick and Slayton, we every Tuesday night. So you'll see us tonight at 9:30 Central Time. We'll be talking about all the injuries, waiver ads, starts and sits, answering all your questions. Like, that's the main thing we love. We love answering roster questions. So make sure that you go and you hit up at Kingmaker Sports. You'll see right here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and notification to that. So that way when we're live and you can go and get your questions answered. You'll also find us Sunday morning, every Sunday morning during the regular season at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to go do that. That's our little project over there. Just out there trying to help people win their matchups and win some leagues, man. We've got a thing right now. Once we reach 100 subs, then we'll be giving away a free roster review. And then as we go higher, we'll give away different stuff. Speaking of which, giveaways, Jeff and I here on Unstabled, once we reach 100 subscribers here on Unstabled, which you can find on YouTube at Unstabled1, we are going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit that subscribe, because if you're not subscribed, you can't win. So we're still talking about that. We think we're doing a jersey, I think we talked about, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a jersey. It'll be a Colts jersey for some of y'all Jags and Texans and Titans fans out there, and everybody else out there. So it will be a Colts jersey.
It will be.
That'd be a notable player. So don't think it's just going to be like some custom, just whatever.
No, we're not going to give you a Jags jersey. No, you're not going to get that shit from us.
Yeah, who the heck wants a Parker Washington jersey? That's something like love Isaiah, but he thinks Parker Washington's amazing.
Again, I asked Destin this, and I had to bring it up. We were having this whole debate. He honestly thinks that Brenton Strange is a better tight end than Tyler Warren. I don't know how you can tell me you don't watch without saying Eric Jackson right there. He's on 3rd and Teal, and he said Tyler Warren to that question. It's it doesn't make any and that's not to say that Brenton Strange isn't a good tight end. He's just not Tyler Warren.
He's very good. Yeah,
Tyler Warren's just on this whole other level.
Yeah.
And I really thought that Isaiah was trolling me like he always does. No.
He was so serious, dude.
No. Brenton Strange is a better overall tight end.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? That's how you know that Isaiah loves his team. He will say that his players are better than every other players. And hey, I respect it. I respect the loyalty. I respect the passion. But don't come at me and say that Brenton Strange is better than Tyler Warren.
Look at all the titles that amazing team has won.
Hey, I ain't getting into all that. They've had some good years. I think they're going to have a decent year this year. It's what's funny is the last week of the season they had Colts Texans as a flex game. So when you go buy the tickets, it doesn't tell you, it's going to be on this day, this time, because the NFL flexed it. I think the NFL was expecting it to be the Texans and the Colts playing for the AFC South, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. it looks like it's going to be the Jaguars and Colts as it sits right now today. Now, look, things could happen. Colts could go on a 5-year. Don't listen. I hope that. But on a 5-game losing streak, you never know, man. And the Jags could go on a 5-game winning streak. But as it sits today, like it's looking like it's going to be the Colts and Jaguars vying it out for the AFC South.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You got to ask the question, like, is the AFC South good? Like, is that what's happening?
I think the Texans are good. It's just not clicking right now for them for some reason. And I think it's got a lot to do with their offensive line. And C.J. Stroud just doesn't have enough time to throw. When you got 5 linemen guarding 1 player, that's a problem. So I don't know if it's your offensive line coach, if it's your offensive coordinator. Like, I don't know what is going on there. But
what was that?
I don't know. That is the goofiest thing. And I'm sorry I don't have that graphic queued up, but what in the world? I've never seen that, man. Like,
I've never seen that.
In all my years of watching, just you don't even see that in high school, dude.
Like the one guy. Like,
you don't even see that in high school. Even on a Hail Mary pass where they're rushing maybe one person. I mean, two linemen guard that guy, and everybody else just standing there.
Is going to get him killed.
I mean, he's going to end up like Andrew Luck if they don't fix it, man.
That line is going to get him killed. 5 guys blocked 1 guy because they didn't know their assignment.
Bro, 5 guys. And we ain't talking about no cheeseburgers, bro. 5 guys. Hopefully they looked at that in their film study and said, hey, we look like a bunch of donkeys right now. We can never do that again. If you're DeMeco Ryans, you got to tap into that linebacker mentality you used to have, brother. And you gotta light that fire in these guys. Like, I know they're grown men, but sometimes a grown man needs to be motivated. Like, sometimes I need to be told, hey, you're messing up, and if you don't get right, you're gonna get gone. So they need to put a little bit of that get right in them Gatorade jugs out there in Houston.
Yeah. Hey, they had it. I mean, hey, we were talking about it right now. The Ravens are not a good team. They're not. Their defense is the worst ranked. Lamar Jackson now doesn't do them any favors at all. They're just not a good team right now. And I'm not saying that to discredit Houston because, I mean, the Colts have beat up on bad teams this year. They played really well against a really good Rams team too. So I think that we talked about it with Destin Adams, who was on the show earlier, about kind of feeling better about the Colts coming out of that game because it was really just a couple boneheaded plays by one person that really lost that game.
Yeah.
And it just, you feel better because, like, the Rams are a really, really good team. And they should have won that game. So the fact that they're just beating up on bad teams isn't really a true statement. It would have been nice to have that 5-0 and been the standalone AFC leader. That would have been fantastic. But, I came into the season saying my expectations were not high. Like, I came into the season even saying that this is kind of really difficult I love football. I'm going to watch the games, but it's hard for me to get excited for the 2025 year. And now I'm like, they're good. Like, so I'm happy to be eating crow on that statement. I'm more than happy to say, hey, I did not predict this is the season. I was wrong. I'm glad they're proving me wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just enjoying the ride now.
And that's all we can do, man. It's definitely fun to be on this side of it. We didn't think that we were going to start 4-1. We didn't, but I'll take it all day long, bro. I'll take it.
For sure. I sent you a graphic and just kind of going back to the tight end thing. Tyler Warren, and just kind of proves our point about, whatever about Tyler Warren. And Brenton Strange, if y'all weren't here, there's actually someone on this AFC South show that says Brenton Strange is better than Tyler Warren. Anyway, Tyler Warren is the first tight end in NFL history with 300-plus receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in his first 5 career games. So he's quite literally making history. And Brenton Strange is better. I don't see the reasoning in that.
I'm not going to give.
I don't know.
A run.
I don't understand how you can justify that statement. And then, of course, I told that to Justin, and I sent the little SpongeBob mocking thing. Brenton Strange is better than the SpongeBob thing. He's not. But again, if y'all just came on, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're just kind of BSing around until JJ comes on, just kind of looking at old topics that we were talked about when Destin Adams was here. But yeah, we're just kind of killing a few minutes until JJ comes on. I don't know if he's on his other show right now or what, but we did kind of agree to a 2:30 window, so hopefully he'll be popping in here pretty soon. But yeah, we're just kind of killing time. So if you got something to talk about in the comments or questions,
hit some questions up, man. We'd love to get your thoughts, not just Colts football, just any football in general, man.
Ask him stuff, man. I'm the first thing I'm going to ask him is, what's it like to be a PA announcer for like 60,000, 70,000 people in Lucas Oil? Like how is that, man? Like that's got to be it's got to be a lot of fun. Like you're the guy that gets the stadium hyped up. Like it's got to be pretty awesome,
bro. That energy, like I can only imagine what that energy feels like in that stadium, especially right now with how great the team is doing.
Yeah, and then I was in the stadium, and unfortunately I didn't see Peyton Manning play in Lucas Oil. Yeah. Like I was there for, I think it was an Andrew Luck game, and I think he got hurt in one of the games. So it was like Matt Hasselbeck was the game that I saw. But Peyton Manning has Lucas Oil trained, man. He had him trained. Every time that offense was on the field, you could quite literally hear a pin drop. Like it's silent. Like and you'll notice me in Texans games at whatever. When the Colts are on the field, yeah, the Texans fans are going crazy, whatever. I'm just he trained us. It's just silent. It's got to be a weird feeling to hear like that roaring, whatever. Okay, they get a first down, and then Peyton Manning shuts all the fans up, and everyone's like, "Sorry, sir. Sorry, Peyton."
Yep. Yeah, it's like, y'all shut up. I'm working here.
When he got mad, he put him. I remember that scene like it was. And then immediately the crowd though. Sorry, Peyton. Sorry, Papa Peyton.
Yeah. The sheriff has spoken.
Hey, shh. And you literally in a library heard people shushing other people.
Yeah. That's how you know you're the greatest of all time. When you can hush a crowd.
Oh man, that was good times. Peyton Manning brought some when he we were talking about that Adonai Mitchell in our last show, his boneheaded plays, and how Peyton Manning, like Austin Collie did, I think it was like a one-handed catch or some shit that he tried to do, and he basically said, "You're out." Austin Collie ran to the sidelines, and they were like, "What are you doing? You're in." He's like, "No, Peyton said I'm out."
Yeah. Yeah, that was I think Pat McAfee was telling that story.
Yeah.
And then and then how Peyton Manning eats his steak, like how he takes his steak or whatever like that. And he said like medium plus or something. Dude, there's so many Peyton stories of just letting you know how much of a leader that guy is. We've never had such a leader since Peyton Manning. Which Daniel Jones ain't it. I'm not trying to sit here and say Daniel Jones is a leader. Actually, he's kind of not a leader. He's very quiet. He's not one to get hype, anything like that. At least Andrew Luck would get in your face a little bit,
Even when Anthony Richardson briefly, he came in at the end of the game there when it was the game was over against the Raiders, and Anthony Richardson threw a ball right at a lineman and it got tipped up. He caught his own pass and then gained. I'm like, oh, his stat line is, one pass for 9 yards and a reception for 9 yards. I'm like, that stat line doesn't happen very often. And you just kind of see Daniel Jones clapping, but there's he's very stoic. Just a little smart, like golf clapping.
He's doing the Jason Garrett,
yeah. But and there's not it's just that was kind of funny. That was the music. He's very dry. Just very dry.
Which, look, we don't need him to come in here and be the locker room leader or anything like that. That's fine. Honestly, I'd be okay if Michael Pittman or Jonathan Taylor want to take that. Or maybe even one day Tyler Warren when he's got a little bit more experience in the league. But right now, the way Jonathan Taylor is playing, dude, that's your leader right there. I wasn't crazy about like them putting the captain patch on Daniel Jones because I thought he hadn't really earned it to that point. But I get it. Your quarterback's a captain. I get it, man. But I don't know. I feel like we could have gone another direction in that.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
probably.
I tell you what, one patch though I do want to get. I want to get that Jim Irsay patch, dude. Throw it on my my Dallas Clark jersey. Oh, or my Marvin Harrison jersey. That'd be awesome, man.
That's a jersey I still need to get. Like I have a Joseph Adaider jersey. I've got Peyton jerseys. I've got Dallas Clark. But yeah, I never got a Marvin Harrison jersey. That's a jersey I need to grab.
Yeah, I'm debating which one I'm going to wear to the game this year when they come to Houston. Like if I'm going to wear the Dallas Clark or if I'm going to go with the Marvin Harrison. Or I may just make a custom unstable one. Like just get like a number 24, 25, 23, whatever, and just put unstabled on the back. Just rep hard for the show.
For sure.
But yeah, you talked about a player that was having some issues. Evan Mitchell, man, such a great prospect out of Texas, like amazing prospect out of Texas. Had a lot of success there, but his rookie year, man, he had a lot of drops. He was struggling with drops really bad.
But he's struggling with drops this year, but different.
Well, yeah, he's catching the ball, but he's dropping it too early.
He's just not holding onto the ball.
So it looked like everything was coming together for Adonai Mitchell. I'm like, okay, boom, this is the kid that we drafted, that we knew what he could be and all the talent and everything like that, which I still believe he can get there. These are just some immature, childish things, like celebrating prematurely. I get it. Look, these guys run fast. So to us, we're like, oh, that's dumb. But to them, like the world is like blurring around them because they're running so fast. And look, I get it. But make sure you are like you're in the end zone and you've turned and then you're dropping it on the paint. If you are just now seeing the paint, don't drop the ball. Don't drop the ball. But
wait till you know, and wait until you see the refs. Like just don't do it. Don't be the guy. Don't be the highlight.
NFL touchdown.
Yeah.
You waited a year and 4 games, and you wasted.
Drop it before the goal line. Come on, dude.
But
and it was clear punishment against the Raiders. Like clear punishment. Like it was dueling all the way, and it was just clear.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody out here thought that he wasn't getting punished. Like not just dropping the ball.
It wasn't even the fumble. It wasn't even that. It was that awful hold. I know y'all talked about it on this AFC South show and how he grabbed him and pulled him. Like
he slung him down. I'm like, you're blocking. You don't do that when you block, man.
Mm-mm.
So, but yeah, he definitely got punished in the doghouse. And dude, we talked about like just that game alone got Alec Pierce's expense because Alec Pierce was up for it, and you just got him paid. But not only that, opened the door for Ashton Doolin to come in and say, "Hey, look at me. I'm Ashton Doolin. I'm here. I'm awesome.
I'm the Swiss Army knife guy.
Yeah,
I'll do it."
Yeah, exactly.
And and even in that game, what's up, dude? And even in that game,
you're okay, buddy.
Yeah, Adonai Mitchell, he I don't know if he stopped on a route or what he did, but there was a disconnect with Anthony Richardson too, and he's like, "Oh, you see him tap the helmet." Like it's a signal for a go or whatever, but it's like, then what the hell are you doing if you're not paying attention to the signals, dude?
Anthony Richardson was good about tapping his helmet.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way you didn't see it.
No. I don't know.
But yeah, that was you ran the wrong route and he was over there on the sideline making excuses. Like, bro, like the one time again that you were out on the field and you weren't paying attention. Like he's got to be firmly in that doghouse right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come out anytime soon because we got Alec Pierce is coming back from injury, which He's had a weird thing here with the concussion. Concussions actually kept him out and limited his play a little bit. And I went back and looked. I didn't see any like really severe hits or anything like that. But he'll be back. Concussions don't last forever. Unless you're Antonio Brown. And then with Ashton Doolin emerging this past game, just having such an amazing lights out game. I don't think they're in any type of rush for Adonai Mitchell to come back. I think this is a thing where Mitchell can probably take the rest of this year, work on himself, get some snaps, get some live snaps and things like that. But this is going to be good for him to be able to step back and say, okay, they don't need me right now. Ashton Doolin can go in and handle it. It's not a big deal. But you don't want to give up your spot. You were given an opportunity with Alec Pierce out, and you smothered that opportunity because of a childish mistake. And this isn't going to be a thing where Adonai Mitchell is done with, oh, he sucks, cut him. Like, all right, calm down, chill out. Because Adonai Mitchell is still a really, really good receiver as far as talent goes. But the maturity is a big thing. A lot of these kids, and I say kids because mentally wise, they're treated as superstars so you still get that pampered, entitled kind of mentality coming out of college into the pros, and where the pros, like, that's over with. Like, you're the rookie, you're starting from scratch. You have proven nothing yet, right? You're not entitled to anything when you come into the NFL, because in the NFL, everybody's good. So the NFL don't need you. You need the NFL, because as we saw with Ashton Doolin, there's always there's somebody behind you ready to take your spot. So Adonai Mitchell, when you grow up, you will be a serviceable wide receiver. But this just has to go and show you that, bro, you need to realize you're not Adonai Mitchell from Texas anymore. You're Adonai Mitchell, like, still ain't figured it out yet in the NFL, but you will. You will.
Yeah, you're not the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right now. Indianapolis doesn't have the guy. I mean Tyler Warren at wide receiver. Let me clarify that. Obviously, Tyler Warren is. Oh, we got to do this. He's here. Welcome, man.
Hey, guys.
Time to meet you.
Good to meet you, too. Glad this worked out.
Yep.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate your time, man. We've been spending the last, hour or so just kind of hyping it up, and we're really excited to have you. We really appreciate your time. How are you doing today?
Sure. Doing good. We're in-season Tuesdays. There are a lot of meetings to get ready for Sunday's game, figuring out what's in the script. We got a roster move coming in here. We've got a bunch of game prep. I just went through my Cardinals roster. So, yeah, nice little in-season Tuesday. How are you guys?
Doing awesome, man. I didn't even tell you this whenever you can tell the viewers that we've got. I didn't beg. I didn't say it was my birthday to get you to come on.
It's his birthday, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Oh, happy birthday. That's great.
I told him, what a better gift to get on your birthday than JJ Stankevitz.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest. That's you could do a little better than that, but
thanks. I didn't want to say Peyton Manning, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Get someone whose name is on the building,
just the fandom in me, it was like, if you're the voice of the Colts, you go. I mean, if you've been to Lucas Oil, you've heard the announcement, like you've heard the touchdown calls, you've heard it. So yeah, it's like Peyton, like with me, it's like Peyton Manning. No disrespect to you, and then it's JJ.
None taken. Trust me.
He still hasn't responded to me, so it is what it is.
I mean, he's pretty busy. I've seen all the stuff he's involved with. But we know you're busy too, JJ, especially with the team having so much success right now. I mean, I bet things are just crazy around the organization.
I mean, vibes are good. And when the team wins internally within a content department, you're really trying to capitalize on that. And I give a ton of credit to our production crew, our social crew, that's just been cranking out awesome stuff. Like every single bit of content you've seen on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is, like they're killing it over there. We're trying to work to tell stories on Colts.com, get some interesting interviews on our podcast. We just had Jack Doyle sit down with Michael Pittman Jr. today. I got Jim Bob Cooter coming on my podcast this week. And yeah, I mean, it's a fun time. Like, look, we haven't been 4-1 since I was in college. So it's pretty nice to, kind of be able to ride a wave of positivity around here where, we've had winning streaks in the last couple of years, but they've kind of been when it's like you're digging out from being under 500, half the way through the season or something like that. So to start the season off strong, we got to continue it, certainly, but it is very exciting.
Absolutely. Before we talk about the Colts, I'd be remiss if I didn't do this. Like, I know a little while back you were with Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Chicago. I'm a big Cubs fan.
Okay.
And I saw that you were a part of that, the crew, I guess, in 2016 for that World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of wanted to, just the fandom in me, I'm just curious, how that was being a part of that.
Is the coolest thing ever. I mean, being able to be in first of all, to be able to be at Game 7 of the 2016 World Series, which for my money is the best baseball game that will ever be played, was just an incredible thing in and of its own. And then being able to be in the Cubs clubhouse when they won the World Series, I remember getting sprayed in the back with champagne by Dexter Fowler's dad. It was a really neat experience, one that I'm so grateful I got to have. And I'm a Chicago native. I'll admit I'm a White Sox fan, but I don't hold any animosity toward the Cubs at all. My dad grew up 3-4 blocks from Wrigley Field. I lived on the north side when the Cubs actually won the World Series. I lived 3 blocks from Wrigley down Addison. So I literally walked to the World Series, which is really cool. It was impossible to not root for the Cubs. If you're a White Sox fan and didn't root for the Cubs, it's like, come on, dude, your heart's made of coal or something. So it was a really, really cool thing to be a part of.
That's awesome. I had to ask. I know this is a cool thing, but it's we're football fans. I think I said in the message, we're kind of the little guy. So it's, we're just gonna, sometimes it's just riffing on here. There's not a whole pre-made schedule. We're just talking, and there's no way I couldn't talk about, you being a part of that World Series. There's no way I couldn't.
Jeff's a major Cubs fan, man. So he's excited. So man, thank you so much for joining us, man. Like I said, I know you're so busy and everything like that. But it definitely goes to show, I'm gonna brag on you a little bit. It goes to show how humble the guys like you, and we had Destin Adams on here earlier, just how humble it is for you to support the Colts community. We're not a major market, like New York, LA, all that stuff like that. So it's good that we all look out for each other. So thank you very, very much, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you guys, I know you'd been reaching out for a while and it was trying to make it work with work schedules, family schedules. It's never easy, but I'm glad that it finally did here.
Yeah, man. We got a couple topics we'd like to hit with you.
Let's do it.
You're
Let's
good
talk
with that.
some ball.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Okay. All right. So with the recent success of the team, what's the energy looking like around the locker room as far as outlook for the future? Is this something, I know there's some big questions coming up with all the stuff with Anthony Richardson, what his future will hold, Daniel Jones, what his future will hold. What's that looking like as far as the future on those two fronts?
I mean, internally, no one's really talking about it. Players are so focused on the day-to-day, and coaches are so focused on the day-to-day that, I think even it's funny sometimes when I've talked to players in the past and been like, yeah, you got this game coming up. And they're like, oh, we do. They're so focused on, what the next thing is. And this team has a really good grasp of that. Talking to Cam Bynum in the locker room after the game, he was like, we expect to win every game, but we expect that because we know we've put the work in. And that's different than some other teams that say, yeah, we expect to win every game, but they don't. They know that they're not doing the work necessary to win those games. So, I mean, look, I think we're 5 games into this season. I think that's too early to make any grand decisions about the direction of where this team is going in the next 3 to 5 years. I think for right now, just let's see where this keeps going. I don't think this team is a fluke. I don't think what they're off to, the start they're off to is unsustainable. They're not, having this sometimes you see teams that get off to strong starts and you look at some of the underlying numbers and you're like, they can't really move the ball. They're getting this crazy turnover luck. And that's not what the Colts are. The Colts are, top of the league in EPA per play on offense. They're top 5 in so many offensive categories. Defensively, I love what Lou Anarumo's been doing, where, maybe teams are able to move the ball a little bit on them in terms of, you look at success rate and stuff, but this defense is going to throw 2 or 3 just 99-mile-an-hour fastballs at a team that is going to confuse an opposing quarterback into making a decision that's going to lead to a turnover or a sack that's going to end a drive. So it's a really good foundation that the Colts have built on, or that the Colts have to build on. The thing is, look, we got 12 more games to go this season. So if Daniel Jones continues to perform as well as he had, we'll have a conversation at the end of the year, certainly, about what this looks like going forward. But, we're still, October 7th? We got 3 months until the end of the regular season. So we'll see where this thing keeps going.
So you talked about the energy and looking at all that. So what do you think has changed as far as the culture? What do you think inspired the vibe? What was the catalyst for that?
It's a great question, Justin. I think part of it is some of the new faces that are here. I think bringing in Cam Bynum and Charvarius Ward in the offseason, those two guys have won a lot. Charvarius Ward's played in a ton of playoff games in his career. His expectation is that you're going to make a conference championship, almost baseline based on where his career has been. And, Cam Bynum just came for a team that won 14 games last year. And the Kevin O'Connell Minnesota Vikings are looked at as, justifiably as one of the best teams in the NFL year after year. Bringing in Daniel Jones, while he didn't have the winning track record in New York, brought another level of professionalism into this team. The way that he goes about his business, the way that he conducts himself, the work that he puts in. And I think that the Colts always had leaders on this team. DeForest Buckner's a tremendous leader. Kenny Moore II, Zaire Franklin, Quentin Nelson, Michael Pittman Jr. These guys are all really good leaders. I think just adding a couple of these different guys in there, to really, make, and this is something Chris Ballard said, is he was like, we want a little of that, healthy uncomfortability within this team, that healthy tension of, if I don't play well, I'm going to lose my job. If I don't play well, I'm going to be, held accountable. If I don't do the things that I need to be doing day to day to succeed, I'm going to be held accountable. And, I think, some of these new guys that have come in have certainly done that. And then winning changes the vibe.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you saw it during training camp where the confidence of this team was building, but you go out and you win by 25 points in week 1 over the Dolphins. And I think that was like a proof of concept almost, that I think players and coaches believed they could go out and do. I think when you actually do go out and do it right off the bat to start the season, it's, okay, how can we keep going? How can we keep going? It's not back to the drawing board like it has been for the last, 12 years, in week 1. So I think that really contributed to it. And the Colts have just continually built upon it. One of the things, guys, I really liked hearing after the game Sunday was, Daniel Jones gets asked, and I wrote about this on Colts.com. Daniel Jones gets asked, what are your impressions of this game? He put up 40 points, and he was like, we had a bit of a slow start. Went 3 and out there to start. And Joel Erickson did a really good job following up and asked him, that's the first thing out of your mouth. Why? You just put up 40 points. And he was like, if you don't love the process and you don't focus on the areas you need to grow in, you're not going to succeed in this league. And I loved hearing that from him, because it would have been very easy for him to stand up there and say, we had a really good game. We put up 40 points. It's hard to do in this league, but we did it. And he said, literally the only drive that didn't work in that game was the opening drive. And that was what the first thing he thought about when he reflected on the game. That's a really positive thing for this team, a really healthy thing to have coming from top on down with the team captain and Daniel Jones. And, it certainly was echoed by a lot of guys on defense too. So they've got a really healthy mentality here for sure.
I think that shows the level of maturity for Daniel Jones, which is rare in young quarterbacks, especially with how things worked out in New York for him. And then, so being well-traveled, I think that helped him get some of that humility that young quarterbacks need sometimes, instead of just coming out with a big head. And you talked about being uncomfortable. like there was that competition, and he showed that not only was he able to make more accurate passes, but he had the maturity. And I feel like the coaching staff saw that and they said, okay, this is someone who's not going to buckle under pressure. This is someone who is not going to just freak out when he throws an interception, because just that response that you talked about with Daniel Jones, like I think that shows a maturity, and that's what we're needing right now at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I think even in that Rams game, Justin, like, he throws his first pick of the season on the first drive, and he comes back and plays a pretty decent game. It wasn't his best game of the year, but given the amount of pressure he was under and the lack of Alec Pierce on the field, I think he played pretty well against a very good defense. And yeah, he didn't let one interception become two, become three. And you see quarterbacks around the league occasionally do spiral like that. And that's why it's one of those things that has kind of, buttressed this team for why I think this is sustainable, is that they've shown the ability within a game to be resilient. And now they've shown the ability week to week to be resilient, where they lose this game against LA. That is like, you cannot believe you lost that game as a player. And sometimes that can turn into another loss. If you're just sitting there on Wednesday night, instead of thinking about what your third down responsibilities are, if you're thinking, golly, if we just hit this one block, or, we did this one thing, we would have won that game. And instead the Colts showed that resiliency by going out and beating the team by 34 points, which I just want to emphasize that doesn't happen in today's NFL. 34-point wins don't just fall out of the sky. They happen because a team is focused and they're motivated. And, Jones even talked about this after the game. He's like, something I was really proud of and something that showed the maturity of our team is that we had a lead at halftime and then we grew it. We built on it. I think you'll see a lot of teams, they'll go up at halftime and they'll come out and they'll kind of lollygag a little bit. I mean, the Colts did this last year. Remember that Titans game in week 16 where they were up 38-10 and you look up and it's 38-30. You build on those leads. Yeah. And the Colts did that in this game. That's something we haven't seen out of this team in a little bit, and that does show some good maturity there.
And you touched on a couple things. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so JJ, you touched on a couple things that Jeff and I have talked about plenty. Is one, like how you're basically keeping your foot on the gas. Mm-hmm. You're not letting that, we're up by 2 touchdowns, let's go ahead and just run the ball, run the clock out, things like that. They want to keep their momentum going, keep that going. And I love that, seeing that from this team, that energy. And then 2, Daniel Jones, he's not trying to do too much. He has such a great stable of weapons. We love how, and this is something that Jeff and I have talked so much about, how he's taking what the defense gives him. He's not forcing bad throws. Hey, if Josh Downs is open right there and he's my only option right now, boom, okay. It doesn't matter if it's first read or third read. He's taking the open shot, and we love that, and it's working. It seems to be a formula for success for this team, and using Daniel Jones in that format.
The other thing I would say there, Justin, because you're totally right, is he's not just taking what's there. He's throwing with plus accuracy. So guys can go make plays after it. I think sometimes taking what's there can sometimes look like, honestly, it sometimes looks like Kyler Murray, who's completing 68% of his passes this year, but he's averaging 6 yards an attempt. Yeah. With Daniel Jones, he's taking what's there, and he's the perfect example is that one on 3rd and 12 to Downs, where he throws way short of the sticks right there, but he puts the ball in a spot where Downs can go make a play. And Downs makes a spectacular play to go pick up that first down. That stuff right there, it's one thing, Pro Football Focus tracks accuracy and then accuracy plus. And I haven't looked it up, but I would guess Daniel Jones' accuracy plus has got to be pretty good this year, because those are the plays that turn into those 3, 4, 5, 6 hidden yards that can sometimes be the difference between winning and losing a game.
Yeah.
And I know that you had touched on something, the resiliency of this team. And I think it was really highlighted in this Raiders game. Again, Colts started the game 3 and out. And then you see these Raiders seem like they're going on this death march. And it's I think it was 15 plays or something like that. And it just seemed like, that we're kind of getting the residuals of the Rams. Oh no. Held them to 3, and then the Colts never looked back.
Yeah.
So it's it was great to see.
And you got those splash plays, right? Where, they're kind of marching down. Tyquan Lewis gets a sack and boom, there we go. There goes the drive. It just implodes for the Raiders and they have to settle for a field goal. I think you're going to see some of that where, maybe teams are going to be able to move the ball a little bit on the Colts. But that doesn't mean they're going to score. And I think it's a different kind of way that the Colts are playing, where they're going to throw a lot of stuff at opposing offenses on, defensively speaking. And one of those per drive is going to stick, and that's going to torpedo the drive for the opposing offense. Where I think, sometimes it's not a bend, don't break defense at all. It's we're going to keep trying to break you until you do. And I love that strategy. I think I was just reading Ollie Connolly on the Read Optional, and his point about Lou Anarumo was that he's a great playoff coordinator because he has these bespoke game plans that are going to take away the thing you do best in the playoffs. And sometimes in the regular season, it's hard to do that consistently. But look, if this Colts team makes it to the playoffs, I love what this defense is potentially able to do, what they can potentially be able to tap into, if they are going to be playing deeper into January.
From everything, the players on the defensive side, like, they love Lou Anarumo. They love all the different different looks that he's letting them do. And there's something that we didn't get out of Gus Bradley. And I don't mean to throw shade, but it's more of a praise for Lou of what he's able to get out of the players that he has. Now look, and even with the injuries that we've had in our secondary, Lou's still been able to get this done.
Yeah.
I'm sure the defensive vibes have got to be so great around Lou Anarumo right now.
Yeah. I mean, you talk to guys in the locker room and, Latu's like, I love dropping. I love those. Kenny's like, I love blitzing. Latu's got 2 picks. How about that?
He's got 2 picks.
And it's just like those things, like, players love the versatility that they have within this defense. They love being asked to do different things. You see Cam Bynum lining up from, the line of scrimmage all the way to the deep half. You see Nick Cross all over the field. Those 2 guys specifically are playing awesome football right now. Defensively, like that Latu interception, I don't know if you all went back and watched like the tape of it, but it is like diabolical what Lou Anarumo did, because he's got five defensive linemen on the field, 3 D tackles, 2 DNs. The 3 D tackles rush, the 2 DNs drop, and Gino kind of panics a little bit. It's a drop 8, and he's trying to fit this ball into this tight window in the back of the end zone to Jack Besh. But again, from coaching, I was talking a lot to, and D lineman knew that in the red zone, Geno Smith was going to throw a little bit low. So get your hands up. So Grover Stewart is tracking Geno's eyes. He gets his hand up, knocks the ball into the air, and Latu picks it off. Like, this is a team that is extremely well coached and very much has taken to that coaching this year across the board.
Yeah, it seems like Lou is not just using them in their designated position, but he's using them as athletes. Because the NFL nowadays is, you're all premier athletes. It's not the old school days where you got just some big brawly defensive lineman and that's all his job is. Like, you can drop him back to maybe be in the linebacker coverage position or something like that. I love that Lou is using these, not just players, but using these athletes.
Yeah, I mean, the way that he's devising stuff for all 11 guys on the field at once, it's really cool, and I'm excited to see where he keeps going with it as the season goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to kind of like piggyback onto what you're saying, like, this is a well-coached team. Like, this is not a team. I mean, they made a couple of mistakes, quite a few mistakes against the Rams. But beyond that, this was about as mistake-free football as I've seen in a long time. Like, yeah, I'm not just talking about the Colts.
Yeah, they do need to clean up the penalties a little bit. That's a point of emphasis for this team. I got to say, penalties are up around the league. I actually just looked this up today. There have been 1,346 penalties assessed through week 5. Last year through week 5, there was 1,180. So you're talking about a pretty significant uptick in flags being thrown this year. But The Colts also have had the most offensive holding calls against them of any team this year at 15. So there's stuff that certainly needs to be cleaned up with this team that, you don't want a holding penalty to torpedo something, later in the season. You want to get that fixed now. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the, takeaways and, ball security, the Colts are doing a fantastic job across the board at those two things. And this offense is it's remarkable, the kind of stuff they're doing. I mean, it's like every week it's something else, something new pops up that you're like, I've never seen that before. 6 consecutive drives with a touchdown. I've never seen that before. That, it's insane.
Well, when you have such a versatile player like rookie Tyler Warren, you can do a lot of different things with
Warren has unlocked so much with this football team. I mean, the versatility that he has, and the way that coaches have been able to use him right off the bat. I had James Franklin on my podcast in the spring, and I was asking him, what makes you think Tyler can transition to the NFL? And he brought up how a lot of tight ends these days who come out of college have never been asked to block, never been actually asked to put their hand in the dirt and block. And he's like, we had Tyler doing that all the time, but we also had him doing this and this and this and this. And he was like, what I come back to is
he was the
yeah, you could do literally everything. He was the offense. Look at them this year. I mean, without Tyler Warren. But he could do everything, but it started with him being able to block. And I think what you've seen is that he's got this blend of a high football IQ with the physical toughness of almost an offensive lineman sometimes. Yeah. So he can do, and then the athleticism of a guy who's not 6'5", 260 or whatever he is. So the Colts have been able to put a lot on his plate, and he's handled every single aspect of it.
He looks like a seasoned veteran, man. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
You talked about IQ. Just the play they drew up where he's rolling out and it's supposed to be a pass. He knows, okay, hey, the pass isn't there. So instead of being that young rookie and just try and make something happen, just know it, just throwing it away and trying again. That's so
I got a
smart.
question. The announcers talked about it. Is Tyler Warren left-handed?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is left-handed.
He is left-handed. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Don't worry. That was not an ill-advised, non-prominent hand throw. He is legitimately left-handed.
But yeah, that was something that should make all Colts fans just all comfortable and warm inside, knowing the future that we have with this young man, who already looks like a seasoned veteran out there.
Yeah, he's going to be good, and I think we knew that coming in. And he even through that, he's exceeded my expectations for him. Just because you always think with tight ends, it's probably going to take a little bit. That's just your baseline.
Right. It's 2-3 years, I think, is kind of the buffer for them.
Right. And the other thing too is sometimes when you hear, a guy's versatile in the pre-draft process. I actually asked Jim Bob about this on my podcast. It's coming out Thursday. I was like, sometimes you hear that and coaches don't actually know what to do with it because you can't actually zero in on what the guy's good at. It's like you spread him too thin, and then all of a sudden you're not leaning into what he's actually good at. Yeah. And the Colts have leaned into what Tyler's actually good at while still finding ways to use him in versatile manners, which is super impressive that they've been able to do that, and Tyler's been able to take it on.
Yeah. And seeing him line up, fullback and just kind of be that, I don't want to say fullback is kind of a dying position, but you don't see a lot of it. You don't see a lot of fullback run stuff like that, and they're doing it with him because he did it in Penn State. He's doing it all. He's awesome.
I think if you took a poll of Colts offensive coaches, what's your favorite play of the year, I think it would that 46-yard touchdown against Tennessee would win because of the way it's old school ISO. You might as well put a washboard on Tyler Warren's neck. Just line him up there, make him look like Mike Allstott clearing the way for work done. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, because now it's not just one of those situations where, in the past, you have your tight end line up as fullback, and you're okay. He's just a fullback or whatever like that. You honestly don't know what they're going to do with him. Dude, is he going to go for a pass? Is he going to take the handoff? What's going to happen with that?
The corner route against Denver from a fullback position was another diabolical play. Who thought of that? You're running a deep corner with a fullback, but it happens to be Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, me and Jeff said the other day. Actually, we've said it a couple episodes. Thank you, Chicago Bears, for taking Colson Loveland first and leaving us Tyler Warren. It worked out beautifully.
I mean, you being the Chicago guy, maybe that stings a little bit, but
I haven't been a Bears fan since I was in high school. I mean, it's been a while since I've rooted for that team.
Well, so thank you, Chicago, for taking Colson Loveland. We don't feel bad about it.
Oh man. So we got we touched on it before that there are some deficiencies that we still need to address. I mean, nobody's perfect, or what is it? Nobody's perfect. There's
Simpsons reference.
That and a little bit of The Office.
Okay, yeah,
a little bit of both. But there are some deficiencies out there, and specifically at corner. I mean, Wally. I mean, both Justin and I had a strong belief that he probably would come in, and he was playing like he would be the corner 2, opposite of Ward, and then he gets hurt. So I'm just kind of wondering, is there any talk about maybe looking into a team that isn't looking at the playoffs that Ballard's on the horn with to try and shore up maybe some of this?
I think there's a month until the trade deadline. I think those things will play out if the Colts do go down that route. I don't think anyone's hitting the panic button right now. I know it might look like, oh well, who's going to play there this week, but don't forget Jalen Jones should be back at some point this season. He's played some good football for the Colts over the last couple of years. Maybe Mekhi Blackman gets a little more settled in. Maybe Jonathan Edwards gets a little more settled in. I don't think this is like a red line, they got to go get someone. And the other thing is what corners are really out there. That's a position you don't see get traded all that often during the season. I know like Jalen Ramsey just got traded in the offseason, but I don't recall like a big time cornerback trade. For whatever reason, it feels like it's usually like if it's a defensive player, it's like a D end who gets traded or a D tackle. I wonder if that's because there just aren't that many, corners who you're like, so
that's not going to happen.
I wonder if that's just because there aren't that many corners who are like consistently good year after year. Or if teams just say like, this is a position we don't want to get rid of. Or if there's just like a dearth of cornerbacks who are available. But I think, just trading someone to trade for someone sometimes can be a bit of a lead balloon. Let's see where the next couple of weeks go. And then, if the Colts need to make a move, around the deadline, maybe they do, but I wouldn't say you're hitting that button just yet. And also most teams are probably not ready to make a trade right now, unless you're apparently the Browns.
Well, I can tell you what, if that trade doesn't work out with Joe Flacco being traded to the Bengals, I'm okay with if Chris Ballard wants to make a call and try and get Trey Hendrickson with his old defensive coordinator. I'd be okay with that. I mean, they only got him on a 1 year, so.
The Bengals move today suggests to me they are not ready to pack it in.
Right. But I think they're playing the Packers and the Steelers. That's pretty tough for him to come in and just kind of figure out the offense, figure out everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's a vet. He's been around. He's seen it. He stepped in, against the Jags last year and threw for like I remember like whatever game it was this year where Jones had a great passer rating. Maybe it was week 1. I was like, wow, like when is the last time we had a quarterback with that high of a passer rating? Oh, it was Flacco in week 5 last year against the Jags. So,
well, they played very similar. Other than Jones being such a better athlete than Flacco, but it's like you see like a younger Flacco back there almost, like just a premier game manager, not making crazy things.
Nowhere to go with the ball.
Which is good. I mean, Flacco being the seasoned vet,
Yeah.
But it's really good.
So, I mean, the internet's going to internet, right? And, we've been seeing articles that, Anthony Richardson wants traded. I don't put a lot of stock in it. I'm just curious if there's actually been any discussion about that coming up to the deadline. I don't buy it. I just had to ask.
Nope. It comes down to a couple of things. Number one, the Colts still believe in Anthony Richardson. They've been very consistently saying that for months now. Number two, what team's trading their backup quarterback when they're in contention? I mean, like,
that's fair.
Beyond everything else, just think about it this way. He's your backup. why on earth would you trade him when you're contending to win the division? That wouldn't make any sense. No. So, and he's not a malcontent at all. What was it? Who was it who had the catch down the sideline? Maybe it was Pittman. Someone, the first guy down there doing the head tap is Anthony. I think it was Alec against Denver. No, he's been, by all accounts, very good teammate and someone who the Colts are not like racing to push out the door for whatever reason some people might cook up.
I'm hoping with the success of Daniel Jones, that this kind of eliminates that complacency that maybe Anthony Richardson would have had last year, being like the guy, hey, you're the franchise quarterback, this and that. Because humility is never a bad thing. So I'm hoping that maybe with some of that ridicule or whatever, that he can mature through that. And then we see some really good ball from Anthony Richardson in the future.
Yeah, Chris Ballard has been pretty consistent. The growth happens in your toughest moments. And, the Colts believe that Anthony can learn a lot from Daniel Jones, who has a very good process, a very detailed process. We'll see where it goes. Again, who knows what next year will bring, what 2027, whatever it might be. But again, I just point to the Colts have been, from the top on down, have been very consistent that whatever decision they were to make this year in terms of who their starting quarterback is, does not mean they're throwing Richardson in the trash. And, I think right now what you're seeing is Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones have a fantastic relationship. They are on the same wavelength. Matt Taylor, our voice of the Colts, even asked Shane on his Colts Roundtable Live this week, like, if you just had Daniel call the plays at the line, would he probably call the same ones that you're calling? And Shane kind of laughed. He goes, yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So there's that relationship is really good. I think Richardson can learn a lot from observing that, from observing Daniel Jones' routine. And I think all of Richardson's teammates, every time I've talked to them, have all said, he's 23. He's still got a lot of career ahead of him. He can learn a lot this year. So I haven't heard a single person in this organization just, kick him into the trash. I think
I like a lot of what I saw during training camp, all the preparation before practice and everything. That definitely showed growth for me from previous years. So I was very excited to see that Anthony Richardson was taking it seriously, taking this competition seriously. I'm curious to see if we pick up that 5th-year option, because I haven't read anything that we have yet or not. I don't think that's
a decision that usually gets made. I think it's the week after the draft, and most teams wait, a pretty long time to make that call.
Okay, that's going to be.
You're not going to see that get picked up during the season or anything.
Okay, all right, so that's good to know. So I guess for all of us, that's going to be kind of that deciding factor. If they pick it up, then that means, okay, yes, we are believing in him. We're gonna try and make it work. But Riley Leonard doesn't look horrible either.
Well, I think that, again, we're in week 6 here. There's a lot of time left to go, but just remember there are other avenues to keeping guys around. It's not just the 5th-year option. It's not just the franchise tag. It's not just a contract extension. You can kind of work around those things. And there's not a one-size-fits-all deciding factor for what a guy's future might look like.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a pretty good looking future coming up from everything I can tell. So it's a great time to be Colts fans. We've had some rough years, and now we're enjoying this blue wave that we're on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got next, Jeff?
Coming off of a strong game, we can look ahead to the next game if that's where we want to go. Look at Arizona.
I got notes on Arizona.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that there was some big news. Just kind of leading into it. Our kicker, which I felt so bad for Spencer Schrader. Yeah. He kind of yo-yoed on and off of our practice squad all last year. Finally gets that start, and he's played so well. And at one point, he had more points scored than the entire Texans team. He's having a great year, and to see him get hurt like that, and we do know that a familiar face is coming back to the Colts to take his spot.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Just like baseline, it sucks that this happened to Spencer because, like you said, Jeff, he was having a great year. I think the Colts really trusted him. They knew they could trust him in big moments. They could trust him from distance. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Michael Badgley is a guy who, at least does have experience with Luke and Rigo, which I think is really positive. That's something Brian Mason talked about today. Is that the operation and having that experience and that timing with guys does count for something here. So, we'll see if he can, step in. Badgley's been really good from inside 50 in his career. Now he's never kicked with these new K balls that they got rolling around. Maybe that'll help a little bit with the distance, but he's a guy who's dependable and reliable. When he was at the Colts in 21, I think he made 18 to 21 kicks, all of his PATs. That's really all you kind of ask for from a kicker. Look, baseline, just make your PATs, and if we need you to make a 40-yarder, just hit it. We don't have to worry about it. So I think you'll probably get that out of Badgley, and then anything else you get beyond that, will be nice to have too. But I am interested in how building that trust between like Shane, who's the play caller and the decision maker there, and Badgley is going to play out where, Shane clearly had a lot of faith in Spencer Schrader and the way that he could call things late in games. Is that going to remain the same with Badgley? And are you going to see the Colts be a little more aggressive on third, fourth down in some of those critical situations late in games to get them closer, and maybe take a little bit more of a risk on a certain play? So I don't know. We'll see. That'll be an interesting thing to see how it plays out over the next probably 4 or 5 weeks going into the bye.
It was fun to see them going for it on the 2-point tries and stuff when Spencer was hurt. That was pretty exciting. I think with how electric our offense is right now, I think Steichen could confidently go for it more often than not.
He could. I mean, I think you'd probably prefer to just be able to set it and forget it with the PAT. But yeah, I mean, and the other thing is like, it's not like we like pulled out any designery plays on those 2-point conversions. Those were, it was a lot of, core passing concepts that we went to, or core run concepts. It wasn't some of the other stuff that we've seen from Shane down in the low red zone where it gets real funky real fast. So
yeah. Well, I think a lot of our offensive success is showing from that offensive line. I mean, these guys are killing it. And I know like people were panicking when Kelly and Fries left. And man, it's like our guys stepped up and they just took the ball and ran with it.
Matt Gonzalez has been awesome. He's been awesome this year.
And I think like with how well Bordolini kind of filled in the stead, Kelly had a little injuries. I think the writing was kind of on the wall there with Kelly. But when Fries was in the game, he was one of the better linemen in the NFL.
Yeah. And
that hurt to me for him to go. But I think this line overall is still really good. Ryman, I think, it's improved every year. So.
Massive holes for Jonathan Taylor to run through.
Right.
I mean, look at these long runs that Jonathan Taylor's having. You look where it starts from, and he's run through the Grand Canyon to start with, and then just breaking tackles after it. So if you've got that, man, you're going to have success. I mean, there's a reason why Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the league right now. You got to give credit to the offensive line.
Yeah, and I think the other guy who deserves a lot of credit here is Tony Sperano Jr., who, now I always like to say this on, when people ask about him or, I'm talking about him, I'm like, look, don't take it from me. Take it from the bank accounts of Bernard Ryman and Will Fries that Tony Sperano Jr. is a really good coach. I mean, those two guys got contracts totaling $188 million this offseason, I think. And they both developed under Tony Sperano Jr. So I'll go ahead and just say that's the real indicator of how good of a coach he is, not just me saying it. Like the league notices and the league rewards these guys for the development they got under Coach Sperano. And like every single offensive lineman you talk to about Tony will just talk your ear off about how great of a coach he is, how much he cares about the guys in the room, the way that he empowers them, the way that he empowers everyone, not just Quentin Nelson, but all the way down the roster to, the last tackle on the practice squad is treated the exact same in that room. And I think he's a fantastic coach. He was a huge hire that Shane Steichen made in 2023 when he got here. And I think, we're trending toward people starting to wake up and realize Tony Sprondo Jr. is one of the best offensive line coaches in this league.
Well, hopefully we can keep him in-house. It seems like we're building the right staff and getting the right people in-house. So let's keep this going.
For sure.
So what is something that we should be looking for against Arizona? A very wiry Kyler Murray.
So let's see. Kyler Murray, 7 batted passes this year. It's tied for the most in the NFL. That was, I think we know why. He's not very tall. Look, and here's the thing with Kyler. He is not going to put the ball into harm's way. He is going to protect the football. He's got a Pro Football Focus. He's got the 6th lowest turnover-worthy play rate in the NFL. He's going to scramble. You're going to get pressure on him, and he's going to run away from it, and that is going to be frustrating. But he hasn't taken a ton of shots this year. I'm not sure they have the guys on offense to do that. And their run game has really struggled. Their run game without James Conner and Trey Benson, and I think notably without Clayton Adams, who used to be the Colts tight ends coach. He was Arizona's offensive line coach and run game coordinator last year. He's now the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator. Arizona's run game last year is one of the best in the NFL. They are now one of the worst in the NFL, and I think the attrition they've had there between Conner and Benson being out and then Adams being in Dallas has really hurt them. Defensively, they're a solid team. 19.2 points per game allowed. Maybe you could say some of that is that they played New Orleans and Carolina and Tennessee, but these are real NFL offenses. And look, I mean, you could say the same about the Colts, right? Okay, well, the Colts are 3rd in points allowed, but they've played Miami and Tennessee and Vegas. So you could say the same thing about the Colts. Yeah. I do think, this is a game that the Colts should walk into expecting to win. Arizona, all of their games have been by 1 score this year. So I don't think you're going to see a 34-point boat race like the Colts had last week. I think this will be a tighter one. You got to play mistake-free football. Arizona has done a good job for the most part of playing mistake-free football up until they completely lost their minds in the second half of their game against the Titans. I would, Jonathan Gannon knows Shane Steichen really well. They were both coordinators with the Eagles in 2022. So, I don't think, Shane will be able to slip a fast one on Gannon. So I would expect this to be maybe a lower scoring type of a game, maybe closer to, the kind of 27-20 type game the Colts had to just play against the Rams, where self-inflicted mistakes cost the Colts that game. I think the Rams are a very good team, certainly, but I think this is a game where if the Colts can avoid those kind of mistakes, penalties, turnovers, those types of things, they should be able to come away with a win in this game.
Yeah, keep it simple. Like, don't do anything fancy. I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray as a passing quarterback. I don't think he's very good at that. Now, that's just me personally from what I've seen. It doesn't seem like him and Marvin Harrison Jr. are on the same page a lot of times.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
Like you have such a great prospect. Oh, wouldn't that be a dream? You have such a great prospect coming out of Ohio State, and then it just hasn't clicked, So I don't really see that as a threat. I feel like if you're maintaining the edge on Kyler Murray and force him to use his arm, I think will be okay. Especially the confidence that I think everybody should have in Lou Anarumo and how he's using his defense and all that. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you can keep Kyler in the pocket, you'll have chances to make plays. This was interesting. Speaking of Marv and just how they haven't really connected. So Marv last week against Tennessee had 98 yards. That's the 3rd highest single game total of his career. 98. Wow. Malik Neighbors had 4 games of over 100 yards before he got hurt. What is hold on, I'm going to look up right now. We're going to do this one on the fly.
Yeah. So I know me being a big fantasy football guy, like everybody expected Marvin Harrison Jr.
So Emeka Egbuka has as many 100-yard games in his career as Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'm not saying this is any shade on Marvin Jr. because he's a really good player. I just don't think
It's not him.
have meshed, and Arizona has quite figured out how to use him best because he can go make plays. He had a good game against Tennessee. He's averaging 15.3 yards per catch, but he's only got 20 catches this year.
Right.
What, 4 a game? That is
so
way lower than it theoretically should be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not consistent. It's not for me. It's not Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not the issue there. Mm-hmm. But that's just my opinion.
Like going into this game, I would assume that Ward will probably be on Harrison for the most part. I would hope, and that just makes things so much harder. I feel like Ward has been really a true lockdown corner this year.
You know what? You know what's funny, Jeff? You haven't really noticed Ward, and that's a good thing. Yeah,
they're not targeting him.
Yeah, right. Don't throw Seven's way. Just whatever you do, don't throw it Seven's way.
Yeah. So I think that really bodes well for the Colts. And I think Latu has started to kind of pin his ears back a little bit more. He had so much pressure the last couple of games. I really like the Colts' chances to really get home at Kyler, and maybe not sack him because he's so elusive, but just throw him off his game, throw off the timing, get him out of the, just make him make mistakes like they've been doing.
Yeah, and I think Kyler is going to be tough because he is going to be hard to bring down, and you're going to have to defend down the field for 4 or 5 seconds on those plays where he gets outside the pocket, and that is hard to do. So you're going to have to be really disciplined in the back end in this game, disciplined on the edges so you don't give Kyler those lanes. Kind of like, Justin was just talking about with that rush lane discipline. That's going to be huge in this game. But yeah, I mean, Luanarumo, I think is he's got the right mindset to go figure out a way to make sure you don't let Kyler do the things he does best, which, I mean, like Kyler can pop a game where he throws for 300 yards because you're able to get outside the pocket. And I think, if you can, kind of like you were saying, Justin, you keep him in the pocket, that's where you might see a little more success as a defense.
Yeah, if you can give up the underneath stuff, the Trey McBride, I think that's worth it to not give up that over the top stuff.
Right, you got to tackle, but Colts, by the way, have been a good tackling team this year. Yeah, they have not had those issues that popped up a lot last year so far.
Yeah, this is an energy on both sides of the field that we haven't seen in a while. Mm-hmm. So I'm very happy. I mean, they're always enjoying each other, having a good time. I can't wait for my trip up to Indy to go see these guys play, man.
When are you coming up?
So we're planning on doing this next season because this season we already have everything planned out. Actually, so my wife and family, they went on a road trip with her mother-in-law to New York, and they've been to Indianapolis. I myself have never been to Indianapolis to a game in Indianapolis, so I'm very excited about this. So when we do that, maybe I'll hit you up, see what some good dining spots are and places to visit while we're there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've talked about Jeff, like maybe Jeff and I going up to the motherland and checking out.
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times. It's been too long ago. I think it was 2016 was when I was last.
Okay. Where are you guys based out of?
We're both outside of Houston. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Our podcast network that we do, we're actually part of this AFC South show, which every year we're doing a kind of a network retreat with all the people that are doing the shows. So this year we went to Jacksonville and got to experience Duval. Got to experience that. I think next year they're actually coming to Houston. And the year after that, the whole crew is going up to Indianapolis.
Cool.
So But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
So I think I'm gonna have to pick up my youngest here in a little bit from school. So I think maybe just get in our score predictions. I think JJ, did you say what you think? 27-20? That would you
as a team employee, I'm not in the business of making official score predictions, but I would say that would be the range I would be looking at.
That's fair. That's fair. You got it. I respect it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go a little higher. I like what the Colts have been doing. They've been hovering right around that 30 all year. I'm gonna say like 31-23. I'll give them 8 points.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to give them that many points. I'm only going to let Arizona get about 17 right here. but I think that we're going to be looking at 27-17 in the Colts' favor.
Okay.
Because they contained Kyler Murray and didn't let him get out of the pocket.
That'd be a fun game. I'm in.
Yeah. I'll always take a win. But yeah, it's been awesome, man, having you on. Hopefully you'll be free again in the future to do it again.
Yeah.
You'd be willing to come back.
Well, it does work out that Tuesday afternoons are, once we kind of get through the heavy game prep phase, I do have an hour or two in the afternoon. So I'm glad that I was able to spend it with you guys. It was fun. You guys know your stuff.
We try, man. And we really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, so you coming to do this is really awesome of you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
everybody that's in here, make sure
welcome.
y'all check out JJ Stankevitz at Colts.com, man. We definitely enjoy hearing your podcast, and with you, Bill Brooks is fun. Getting a former player's perspective is always really cool, especially not just a player, but a player that wore the uniform as a Colts uniform. So that's
we got cool. Jack Doyle doing a podcast with us too, which has been really fun to follow along on that. So we've got a nice little lineup of things going for us here.
I bet he's enjoying seeing somebody else take up the mantle of number 84.
He said on his first podcast, he was like, we got all these 84 jerseys in our basement, and I'm like, kids, get the duct tape out. We're covering up Doyle. We're putting Warren on it.
That's awesome.
Oh man, what a great sport about it.
And honestly, man, you're living the dream, man. It's kind of the goal to do what you're doing, at least for us. So it's really awesome to just kind of see that personality up front. Like this has really been cool. Man, it's been great.
Appreciate that.
We'd love to have you back on.
I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this, not just to be able to do this, but to do this for the Colts, who are just a top-down great organization from, Carly Ursay-Gordon, Casey Foyt, Kalen Jackson, all the way down to every single, employee who I interact with here, players, coaches, front office staffers, whoever it is, folks on our business side. It's a really cool atmosphere that we got in this building. And it's very collaborative. It's very supportive. And that really, it starts at the top with tremendous ownership, which we are very much fortunate enough to have here in Indianapolis.
I think it's really cool that it stayed a family business. They didn't just up and sell and everything like that. It seems like the sisters are just really like honoring their father, taking up the mantle, and how involved you see Carly is on the ground every day. I think that's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. They know their stuff, and they know they know it's different. Obviously without their dad around, but they've done a really tremendous job, and I've full. Yeah. It's really cool to work for an organization where you really do believe in the people who lead the organization. For sure.
Yeah, it's also going to be kind of exciting to see how the changes that they might bring, maybe their stamp on the franchise and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Jeff, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I mean, it's clear like the impact that they've had, that Ursay family, and what the sisters have done, the impact that they've had. It shows on the field. Like the whole, it's a clear attitude shift, and it's fun. Like football is a lot of fun again in Indianapolis.
Let's keep it rolling. Rolling.
Sure. Absolutely. But yeah, man. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. You are always welcome. Always welcome on here. So hopefully in the future, you can have a bit of time again to come on.
Well, I'll do my best to make it work, because this is a lot of fun, guys.
For sure. We really appreciate it. Everybody watching, like, share, subscribe again. Make sure you go over, check out all of JJ. He's in a lot of projects. There's a lot to check out, and make sure you give him a follow if you haven't already. Subscribe to his stuff. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, where all can they find you, JJ?
So you can find all my written content on Colts.com. You can find all of my my podcast, The Colts Show, which you can download on your podcast platform of choice. You can watch it on YouTube. And then if you are at a game, you can't tune out my voice. So that's you can listen to me, read me, hear me, watch me in a couple different places.
Awesome. But yeah, man. Thank you so much. I got to go pick up the kids, but we'll definitely be in touch again. We'll be throwing out invites. We were free. We appreciate
happy birthday too.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right.
Take care, guys.
Later, buddy.
Take care. Thank you, sir. I think that's about time for us to wrap too. I really do got to go pick up the kids. So
Yeah.
y'all be good people. Thank y'all for being here on this very, very special episode. We'll catch you. I don't know if we really need to do a preview episode, but maybe we'll catch you later in the week or on a review episode. But y'all be good people. We'll see you next time.